Alright, so this video is going to go into HDRIs and environments. Specifically adding shaders to environments and separating the colors that you throw into the scene from the environments from the HDRI. So what is an HDRI? An HDRI is a high dynamic range image, but the term has come and is always used for basically a 360 degree image that is projected onto the environment. They're standardized and there's stuff like that. Anyway, you can get a preview of that if I remove my fog here and I go to the material preview engine. So you can see in the reflections the environment that is an HDRI in the background. I can change some of the settings to do with that. If I click on this arrow, I can turn on scene lights, I can turn on scene world rather than HDRI. I can change the strength, I can change whether or not this sort of shows up as a background, but it's still softened. There's a setting that you can go into that changes the obliqueness or the softening, the blur of the background. Anyway, let me just turn that back down to 0 so you can see what an HDRI is and you can switch between these presets. However, let's say that we want to use these within rendering in Eevee so that we get all that background and all that free lighting information rather than going through and creating a full lighting setup like this. Well, what you have to do is, currently I have the node editor open over here. I pressed N to get rid of that. And if I change the editor type to the shader editor, just to make sure, well, not just to make sure. If you already have it at the shader type, it's already fine. Just want to make sure that that was clear, that I'm using the shader editor. And I change it from object to world. You can see that we have a node network for the world. If we go over to world here, this little world properties tab, you can also see it over here. You can see viewport display, and you can change the viewport display when you're in a different mode. However, this little node has fallen out of use, and I'm not sure why it hasn't been removed entirely. Anyway, you can also create a world volume, so you can use the volume nodes for the world. To add nodes, I'm just going to press Shift-A, and I'll show you this. So, if I look up principled volume, I would not recommend doing this often, as it can kind of mess up things, but now you can see that the entire world has fog. And I can change the intensity and the density as well. And of course, as you go out, the fog thickens, and so you can't see the area anymore. We might have a really low dense fog just for the extreme distances, so that objects fade off the farther you go out. But that might be at something like, wow, that's a small number, 0.001. So if you fade out really far, you might be able to have some fog. But don't worry about that for now. There are different ways of doing that don't require creating a volume and thus spending the resources on the volume. So I just wanted to show that that was possible. For the background here, the background current color is set to default, so that's the color up here. And we want to have an image texture instead of the color. We can also change the strength of the background environment and how much that light pulls onto the scene. We can actually, in a moment, I'll show you how to merge these two together so that you separate the environment from the lighting you actually project on the surface. Anyway, in the node editor, if I press Shift-A and I go to environment texture, I now get an environment texture right here, and I can go from color to color there. You can see that it turns purple because we don't have any image loaded. I wondered, do I have any HDRIs? No, I do not have any HDRIs very easily accessible to me. So what I would recommend is this is probably the best website to get free and commercial use HDRIs. This guy's Patreon, but Drone HDRI, I may support him to try to get him to that. Anyway, so in this you can just go through and see different HDRIs. Let's say that I want one of these HDRIs, and I think that this has a good coloration to it. So I want this to reflect on my environment. Just going down here to download, you can see 1K, 2K, 4K, and 8K. Normally I go with 2K for backgrounds that I won't be able to see, and 4K to 8K for environments that are rendered. Of course, you can download multiple versions and switch between them as needed. So anyway, I'm going to download the 4K. You just click on it, and it downloads. It's the bottom left there. And you can see that it is downloading as an .hdr. Blender knows what to do with this. It's an image format. I'm not sure exactly what it's based off. Maybe JPEG, but it's renamed. I'm wrong. It's a completely different format. My apologies. Anyway, so by clicking open next to this, you'll have a little pop-up right here, and you're able to go over to downloads, or wherever you saved it. I suggest saving it in a standardized spot so that everybody in the project can access it. And I'm just going to go over, find it, and press Open Image. And after it opens, you can now see that you have an HDRI. So this is just the world. Alright. And now you can see that it's also reflecting on all the objects within the scene. But let's say that for whatever reason you want different versions of HDRIs or different HDRIs to reflect off the surface rather than be in the background. Having a 4K both being reflected and in the background, I mean, it's the same. If you added a 2K map for the reflections, it wouldn't be any different. It would in fact be worse for performance because you're taking up more memory. But anyway, that note aside, you can also see that the environmental light is coming from this HDRI as well, and that of course is changed by the strength of this HDRI. Let me turn this to 1. If you wanted to mess with colors, you can also go in here and add a color ramp. Not a color ramp. If you add a color ramp, it'll change to black and white. If I add RGB curves, add this in here, you can then mess with pretty much all the individual curves of the environment. So I can go in here, I can increase the greens, I can decrease the blues, and then I can go in here and change the everything to do with it. I suggest playing around with it, as RGB curves is one of those really, really useful things. Anyway, I'm going to pull down the darks, push up the brights so that I get a little bit higher contrast image, and yeah. Anyway, so to change the reflected environments and what environments is adding light rather than everything else, I believe it's light path. Yes. Okay. So if you press Shift A, search light path. It's underneath some menu in one of these, and I suggest you look through these if you're interested. I can then get this huge array of modes, but you don't really have to worry about most of these. The only one you have to really worry about is, I believe, is camera ray. I'll have to experiment on this in front of you. I apologize. So anyway, I can go in and I can add a mix shader. So now instead of this HDRI being affected by anything else like that, I can have a unaffected background shader. So sorry, green is for shaders, yellow is for color information. So I'm going to plug in that shader. I'm going to plug in this color. And so now these two are being mixed. So you can see that I can go in between these two. Anyway, so this FAQ allows basically black and white information to be used as a gradient. So if I go in here and I add a gradient texture, I can then go from color and plug it into the FAQ, and you can see that it is gradiating between the two of the first one over here and the other one over here. Anyway, I'm going to use, I believe, is camera ray. And so now the reflections are one color, but now the environment is another. So if I change this, boost this up, you can see that any of the effects that I'm doing only apply to reflections and how the color is applied to the object. Let me go back to where it was because it looked kind of nice. And of course, I can switch these two so that the background is darker, but the reflections has the lighter version of it, or unaffected version of it. Of course, you can always put another image over here that's a different HDRI, or whatever. And of course, each one of these backgrounds, their strength is completely independent of the other. So in fact, I could have a completely black background with no emission strength whatsoever, but still be completely fine with the reflections that are there. Anyway, that's the basics of using HDRIs. In the next video, or in fact I may just link it, a tutorial on how to use the plugin, which I'll send you for Atmosphere.